Okay, we're about to start. Yeah. First of all, I'd like to welcome all you all to come out to our first session of our information night, and not only that, for Bible study. What we're going to do, I'm going to introduce you to Miss Kiana Austin. Kiana Austin from Oak Street Health Care. And I was going to say a couple of things, but I talked with Kiana this afternoon, and once that she told me that she was the executive of the outreach program, I guess God had me to close my mouth and let her do all the talking. Because when you're executive, you know everything. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Miss Kiana Davis from Oak Street.
You probably speaking to existence. So this is my manager. His name is Patron. He is the outreach manager. So a couple things. Do anybody know about Oak Street Health? Okay, my over there MVP. So Oak Street Health is a primary care doctor's office for adults on Medicare. So I know, let's say, let me ask you this question. Do everyone here have a primary care doctor? Show of hands, everybody? Okay, that's good, that's good. That means you do take care and have concerns about your health. So that's really good. My other question is, as far as with your doctor or your primary care, how long have you guys been with them? 5 years, 10 years, longer than that? Longer than that? So with you guys being there that long, how is the quality of care of it? Are they really assisting those needs that you guys need? So just take a ponder on that. Don't just put your hands up. Just think of that, okay? The reason why I want to tell you more about Oak Street Health is because we do a lot of things that is unheard of at a primary care doctor's office. We want to show you guys our bedside manner. At the same time, we want you to know about the resources that we do have. So we have 2 locations. The first one is off of Capitol Boulevard, Mini City Shopping Center. You guys might be familiar where the barbecue lodge used to be. Yeah. So they took that barbecue out for the healthcare. Okay, so no more barbecue, just Oak Street Health. And then Pool Road, if you're familiar where the food line is located, where Family Dollar. So no more shopping, you got healthcare again, okay? So we're right there, there's our 2 locations. So Pool Road is a lot closer from here. So we have that location. A couple things that we do have that are key points. We provide transportation to and from our doctor's office for our primary care. So when it comes to transportation, it's not like we have our own bright green van. It says Oak Street Health. They're excellent drivers. So that's a barrier when it comes to a lot of adults that's on Medicare. Either because it's raining outside. I don't like driving in the rain. I don't like it when the time goes back. I don't like it either. So we have someone that can help far as driving with those barriers, and then at the same time, if you have someone that is giving you transportation and you have to rely on them because they might have to go to work or take off work to take you, now you have that responsibility, you have that control of setting up your own appointment, your own transportation so you can get to and from your doctor's office. Another keynote about Oak Street Health is the community room. We have a community room inside our doctor's office, which no one has that but us. We do things like bingo, line dancing. We have in the bags, I have the updated calendar for February. So there's some key things that is on there. We're going to do like a caregivers day, where if you know anyone who works for any caregivers, they can come show their badge. We're going to provide lunch with them. I have a female National Vet Girls Rides Day. It's National Vet Girls Rides. where any female veterans, they can come, we can have lunch with them, we're having painting step, arts and crafts. You do not have to be a patient to join to come to this center, to the community room. And with that community room, we have computers there too as well, so you can have full access for it. And we also do resource education classes too. So if you were a patient, and let's say if you was playing bingo, when we say bringo, because we like to do breakfast and have bingo, so it's called bringo for us. But if you was playing in the middle of your game and you did have a doctor's appointment and the nurse or the MA might come and say, hey, Miss Smith, are you ready to go back? And you're like, I want to finish this game. We'll say, okay. We'll come back later. Yeah. We'll say, okay, that's no problem, we'll come back. And whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and send you right back. So that's the fun thing. That's one of the fun things as far as us having a community room. But as far as a clinical standpoint, we're not a fee for service. A lot of primary care doctor's office, they're fee for service, and what that means is they bill everything that you do. And even when, let's say if you set up your appointment, I like to go in, I like to come out, I like to be the first one smoking, the first one out. So when you have a doctor's appointment and you say, oh, I want to be there at 8 o'clock, I know I can get there. Sometimes it's not just you that's at 8 o'clock appointment. Sometimes it's 3 other people that has that 8 o'clock appointment. And if all 3 of you guys show up for that 8 o'clock appointment, that's where that wait time is of you waiting for your primary care doctor. With us, when we set your appointment time, that's your slot. There's no one else, so things do happen, so if you do have to miss your appointment time, that space is just, we don't have anybody to fill it. We're preventative care. Yes, ma'am.
Will you be charged for that? Are you charged a fee for if you?
For the cancellation, No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, because we know things happen, and if anything, we'll just go ahead and call you back and reschedule.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. So we'll just make sure that we'll just call you. But when it comes to that being said, we want to make sure that we keep you happy and healthy out of the hospital. So how we do, yes, ma'am.
So the rides pick you up?
So with our rides to pick you up, we like to schedule your transportation, and then we'll call you. If you need to cancel, just let us know 24 hours, like the day before. But we'll call you when we're on the way too as well.
But how much notice do I need when I schedule my appointment to be picked up? When I'm scheduling my appointment,
For instance, if you need an appointment tomorrow and you called in, you will be scheduled for transportation tomorrow as well.
Okay.
Yep, everything will be same day.
Okay.
Now, there is situations where, since I had a patient who, I scheduled him for his regular doctor's appointment, and I spoke to him that day, and something happened to him over the weekend where he had a car accident, and he was like, oh, I'm still coming, I'm gonna just take the bus. No, I didn't want to take the bus. So I told him, I was like, no, we have transportation, we're gonna take you to and from the doctor's office. He was like, are you sure it's okay? Absolutely. So if it's something like, when I spoke to him, if I can get it in to schedule him and get the transportation so we can have someone to come pick him up, we'll make that extra drive to go ahead and get that need. Yes?
When you talk about transportation, do you provide transportation to like specialty clinics?
Not for the specialty clinics, unfortunately, but we do have also a benefit specialist. So if you do have, for instance, Medicare and Medicaid, or if you have Medicare and Medicaid and another insurance, or you just have Medicare and other insurance, that benefit specialist, there's a lot of things that, Medicare is tough to understand. Is you have Part A, Part B, Part D, and Medicare Advantage supplements. That benefit specialist can see your plan and see what you're entitled for. So there's a lot of things that you're entitled of that we're not aware of, and the government's not going to tell you.
And it could be transportation to the
Right.
specialist within your insurance that we will go over, let you know your options. We've had people come in, they're allotted $120 to spend on groceries. Here they are 6 months into their insurance and had no idea they had this available to them.
Mhm.
So we have someone that will sit down with you and like, hey, this is your insurance and these are everything that you can take advantage of throughout the entire year. So make sure you're taking advantage of what you're actually paying for throughout the entire top of the transportation we provide to our clinic, and then they have money that they actually can spend on.
It's like an allowance card, and that allowance card, you can get up to $50 to $300, all depending on your insurance or what you have, Medicare, Medicaid. Now, do I know how to do that? I don't know, but that's why we have a patient relations manager. She'll sit down with you and she can discuss those, like your package plan, and see what your insurance is, so you can get those resources too. But also, let me go back. So we talked about the clinical standpoint, sorry. So again, we are not a fee for service, we're preventive care. We do not double book when it comes to patient time, because your time is valuable. You don't get your time back, so we want to make sure that when you do come, we use that time wisely. So another thing is, with our doctor's office, you have 40 minutes with your provider. Do anybody have 40 minutes with their provider currently? Usually, I know me, I might have 10, 15 minutes max with my provider. And a lot of things, when I go to see my provider, the first thing they do is they take their badge, scan the computer. Hey, how you doing? Is there anything else I can do? If everything's fine, do you need a refill? Okay, I can go ahead and put that in. You still at Walgreens? Okay, let me check your heart. Sounds good. Is anything else you need from me? Okay, you have a great day. See you next time. So, but with us at Oak Street Health, roles is reversed. Our provider does not have, we don't have a computer in our exam room. There's no computer. So I know you're like, well, how does the doctor do everything? We have a medical scribe that takes the notes. So that medical scribe is trained to write all medical information into a computer, pull up any medical information that is needed for the provider. So it'll be a provider and a medical scribe in the office with you. And what they'll do is, if the provider says, hey, Ms. Jones said that she went to a cardiologist a couple of days ago. Can you pull that up right now for me? And what else will happen at the cardiologist, Ms. Jones? Like having that one-on-one conversation. At the same time, that medical scribe is behind there pulling up that information right there. So that gives the provider that one-on-one to be right there and engaging with you. Hands are free. I know the provider that he said, the one thing that he said to me that really hit home is, he said a lot of patients, when it comes to that stethoscope, they haven't had that on their chest with their providers currently. And he said with him, when he does two things with the stethoscope, not only listening to the heart, but he's also listening to his patients. So there's two things that he's doing, and a lot of current providers are not doing that. So you do have 40 minutes with your provider. Not saying you have to use the whole 40 minutes, but it's there. But that's where you can address questions, concerns, expectations of how you feel. Because in the day, we only have one life, and we need to do everything we can to keep our health the way we want it to be. Also, we have another thing is we have other resources. We make a customized care plan with each person. So we're not just a typical, oh, you have the same basic care plan as this person. Everybody is customized based on their tier. So with that being said, we do have an RN, we have an MA, we have a medical scribe, we have our nurse practitioners, our doctors, but we also have resources that's on site. Those resources we have a social worker that's there on site. So if there's anything that you need as far as with that, they're there. Behavioral health specialist is on site. I love that we do have that, because with COVID, it didn't just hurt our seniors or our adults, our older adults, it hurt everybody. COVID, it was new to everybody, and so a lot of things like depression or different mental health, and for you to get better, it's not only just your physical being, it's your mental being too. And so we have a behavioral health on site too as well, and we also have a community health care worker, social worker there. The community health care social worker helps far as with housing. If you need help with housing, they help with food pantries. I know you guys have one here, but we do that too, is trying to make sure that our patients utilize all the food pantries too. And at the same time, if you needed help far as going to a specialist appointment, sometimes these doctors say a lot of big terminologies and we just don't understand. I'm like, can you break that down for me? That's where he comes in. He can come to your doctor's appointment, or she can come to your doctor's appointment. So then, for the specialist and explain that and making sure that everyone's on the same page. And if you do have a specialist, we don't take that away. We're not associated with any hospitals. So if you're with Duke and you're with UNC and Wake Med, that is fine. And if you have any specialists, if anything, we communicate with them more. That's a big thing, is a lot of people are not communicating, providers are not communicating with specialists. And that's where the problem comes into play. I had a patient who had met him at, I told this story for breakfast today, but I met him, he told me, I was at a cookout, little senior cookout. And he told me, he was like, oh yeah, I have a provider, and he said, I have 12 medications on the table right now. And I was like, 12? He was like, yeah, I got 12. I was like, oh, well, yeah, I need to get you in. I don't know why you got 12. So he literally went to his house and came back and showed me a big bag of 12 medications. So he wanted to come to see what Oak Street was about, and when he came, our provider showed him and was like, these two medications are the exact same thing. One was prescribed to his specialist, the other one was prescribed to his primary care. And because his answer was, because they're both doctors, they told me to take them. But the thing is, there should have been a communication between the two to show him that he already had it. Now this man was overdosing himself. And didn't know. He just knew he had some that was expired, but he was taking them. He didn't know how long he was supposed to take them. So that's just one person, but just imagine there's a community of people who are doing that.
That's right.
And so I had that. I had a situation where I know some of you was like, oh, I've been with my doctor 10 plus years. And that's great. You've been loyal to them. And they might be nice, really nice, but how's the care? How is your overall care? Because this lady that I've met, that's the only thing I can say about my job is, my con about it is I don't touch people early enough. And so the reason why I said that, because with her, I met her, she was adamant about her doctor. I love my doctor did this. The only thing I have is stomach problems. That's all I have, is just stomach problems. But they give me medicine for it, and I tolerate it, but it's fine. She came, and she was grunting, but when she came, she met our provider, and the first thing our provider said was, you have to go to the ER. We had to get EMS for her. She went to the doctor, and she was on stage 4 stomach cancer. Wow. Stage 4. And the thing is, we had a meeting about it. He was upset because you have providers who are not giving our adults, our senior adults, they're just pushing them away, getting them in and out, and not listening to what they're saying. And this could have been avoided because she's been on the same medication for 10 or 9 years, the same thing, saying that she's been having stomach pain, and now she was in stage 4 stomach cancer, and there was nothing else they could do. Yes, it is. And so that was the only thing that now when I really, before that, my grandmother lives in Fairmount. I don't know if you guys know where Fairmount is. It's in Lumberton, Fayetteville area. She has congestive heart failure. She has numerous of complications, and she can't have this resource of Oak Street Health. There's things where she has to go to a small town doctor, and sometimes me and my mom have to drive all the way to Fairmount to bring her back up here because we can't trust these doctors here. We have to bring them here to go to the hospital for that, for Wake Med or UNC, just to make sure that she's getting that special care. But unfortunately, she can't. She wants to stay where she's at, and you know, if that's your hometown, you want to stay, I respect it. She's older than me, I'm not gonna say anything. All I can say is, you know, I just want her health to be there. So if I can't touch her, what I'm gonna do is touch everybody that I can. So, what I want to do is, of course, I told you guys about the community room. I told you guys about the resources, our providers, and at the same time, we do have transportation. So if you guys would like to do a welcome visit, that's more so of us showing our bedside manner, actually seeing what we have to offer. Maybe you are in looking for primary care. Maybe you just want to see apples to apples. You've been with your primary care currently, and you're just like, you know what? Maybe I should just look and see what this other place has to offer. We do a welcome visit where you can test drive and see what we have. And if all means, if you love everything, which 9 out of 10 you will, we'll switch you over and you'll be just fine. We'll take care of everything. But if you just say, you know what, I appreciate everything that you showed me, I just want to ponder on it, that's fine. Or if you just say, you know what, I want to stay with my provider, that's still okay too. We won't switch you over or anything like that. It's more so, I would rather for you to see the resources that we have and spread the word to it. I save you guys there's a trifold in there too as well that has the information. Yep, that's it. Has all the information in there. One big thing I want to also say that I forgot to say was we are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, but we do have a 24/7 call center. And it's not like your automatic voicemail that you're talking to, leaving, it's not that. You're actually speaking to someone. And that person is medical trained to address those needs. So if something happens as far as late at night, over the weekend, that's where they will come into play and address that. And then on top of that, if you do have to go to the hospital, once you are discharged, you will have a follow-up with us. So, yes. Oh, for our senior program, the community room. So, couple things that's on there. There's some, not the in-center events, but out-center events. Okay. Some out-center events that we have done. Oh, you need a packet?
No, yeah, I need a band, I got a question.
Okay. Some out-center events that we have done before is we've done a senior cookout, we've done a senior prom, we've done a senior homecoming. Some.
I only got 2 more left.
2 more left? I should have brought some more. Wow, it was a good crowd. But, yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say, I have visited, and some of the things that they do for the community with the seniors, they take us to movies. We got to go and see movies. They actually, in the community health center, they have a book club, so you can actually join a book club. They actually play games. They have refreshments for you that you can go in and get.
It's literally like 5-star quality. And if you, the places that I said where they are, Mini City, Pool Road, I'm from Raleigh, born and raised. So when they told me the second location was Pool Road, I was like, where? Oh. Okay. But the more I thought about like with Oak Street, what we did, they put it in areas where help is needed.
Right.
Where a lot of people cannot go to 5-star or, 5-star healthcare because A, they don't accept Medicare or they're not gonna accept Medicaid. They want you to have just the regular insurance. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE. If you go to the VA, we accept every insurance. The only one we don't accept yet is Blue Cross Blue Shield, but if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield as a supplement, you take all supplements. So we really try to break these barriers of making sure that people are not getting the health care that they need. Sorry, I'm new to this. Maybe I should step back. On this flyer, I just want to say a couple things that are pretty key things that I would love for you guys to come. One of them is February 17th, is Health and Wellness 101 with Ms. Phyllis. If any of you are inquiring about, let's say, your Medicare, Medicaid, or making sure that, because there's a lot of things you're entitled to have, and you don't have those benefits, and it's free, no cost. I just learned, I had a conversation with the benefits specialist, and I know a lot of people who have Medicare and Medicaid, there's like, well, I don't wanna lose my Medicare, I don't wanna pay anything else, there's no cost. So if you think about it, and imagine like your favorite ice cream. Mine, it just depends on the day. But, you know, your favorite ice cream is your Medicare, your Medicare, your Medicaid, and then you put toppings on that. That's what they'll do. You're still keeping your ice cream, your Medicare, your Medicaid, it's just we're adding more to it. And it's still no cost. There's some benefits, if you were in a VA, you automatically get an allowance card because you was in a VA. That can be up to $75 to $200, just free, use it for whatever. There's some that's this balance card, if you have a dog, you can buy some pet food, and you can use it for your utilities. It's so much out there that literally our community, our minority, us, we don't know. And so I love this job because they're telling us all this research, and I get to spread the word to my city, you know? More quiet, early quiet? Yes,
Yeah, she'll call you up and remind you.
I will. Yeah, we went to go see Black Panther, 2, so I guess it's called Wakanda Forever. So we went to go, see that, and it was so much fun. But yes, that's one big thing, and then also,
Excuse me.
yes,
So what's on this here flag, is this for both places? Or
no,
just
this was for, Pool Road, I did cause it's closer. But if you would like the Capitol one, what I can
No,
do.
this is for Capitol.
Oh, you could have mixed right?
Yeah.
Okay, you did a mixture, but I have a Pool Road if you want me to
If
switch it out.
you live close to Capitol, raise your hand, I can give you the Capitol Boulevard. Capitol.
No, we all over here.
Okay, yeah, far as, this Pool Road on it, then that's the one closer to the church. So
So
if
that's the
you
one.
live around the church, that's probably the one you would wanna go to. Got the Capitol
So
Pool
they
Road.
need a Pool Road, okay. Last one is I wanted you guys to attend if you can. I'm having in the center at Pool Road on the 21st. We're doing a gospel sing-along. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Compassion Baptist Church. They're gonna be there too, and I would love for you guys to come. All is welcome. It's from 12 to 2, and we're doing a nice little gospel sing-along. And then another thing is, this is the last thing, because everything else I can keep going about Oak Street. Oak Street green. If there's anything far as events, resources that you guys need, I know I keep saying it's at Oak Street, it's at Oak Street. It's just not limited to there. We can always bring the resources here. If it's more convenient for us to bring things here, we can have someone come and talk about Medicare. We can do some bingo nights, some movie nights, sing-alongs here. Mr. Rocky will help me out with that. But overall,
I just wanna say, did y'all watch the Whitney Houston movie? Did y'all find it interesting? So
did y'all like it?
that is our
Yeah.
next movie that we're trying to put together, a private event at a movie theater. You came to the Black Conservative, so it's trying to probably do like the Alamo Draft House Theater again, so just keep an ear out for that. We working out the details with them, but once we get a set date, we're gonna pass out flyers, you can either come here again and let you guys know, so you're more than welcome to come out and enjoy it with us. Popcorn, drinks on us, just have a good time, so, just keep an eye out for that.
So but I just wanted to say, this,
Okay, so now on your Capitol, the thing for the 17th.
Oh,
Right,
for
on the
Pool Road.
Capitol, it was a movie matinee. On the Pool Road, it's a health and wealth.
Yes.
Yes,
That's correct,
yes,
for the Pool Road.
yes.
Okay.
So Pool Road on the 17th is the Health and Wellness Day. Yeah, that's right. Okay. But, if anything, I just wanted to say thank you guys. Oh, yes, sir.
One other question. So if there's an interest, are you saying that the first step would be to take the, schedule a welcome tour? Is that?
Yeah, so the first step we'll do is a welcome visit, which is like a consultation, seeing our bedside manner, seeing what we have to offer. I like to say it's like a test drive, like when you go to the car dealership. When you go to the car dealership, what we do, we look at the Carfax, we look under the hood, see if there's anything going on. So it's like you're doing the same thing with your health. We really don't, a lot of us don't do that. We just go based on word of mouth and say, hey, go here, go to Dr. Smith. But we don't know anything about Dr. Smith. So with us at Pool Road, when you look at our website, what we'll have there, you'll see our providers, their face and their bio right there. So you can go ahead and do your research there. When I schedule the welcome visits, I tell each of my future patients, grill the provider. Grill them, ask them the questions that you want to know, tell them your expectations, and put them in the hot seat. We need to start putting our doctors in the hot seat. We just shouldn't assume just because, oh, I need to take this medication, okay. No, we need to say why. What's the side effect? What, is it gonna do anything with the medication that I have? My mom always say, if you don't raise your hand, it's not gonna get an answer.
Right, it's true.
You don't raise your hand. So we need to do that with our health.
A lot of doctors don't even know the side effects.
That's another thing.
And a lot of us take medicine because the doctor says it.
Right,
We
exactly.
don't really question it very much.
And I know that our providers, they're not so freely of just providing medication. They will look at things, so for instance, if you have a patient that comes in and they've been depressed, a lot of providers will, well, let me go ahead and give you antidepressant medicine. Our provider will go ahead and assist you with our social worker and saying, our social worker will be like, okay, well, do you like doing any activities? Let's go ahead and have you come to these activities. Is it because of transportation that you're not coming? We have she scheduled where she has a person where we're already getting transportation for her. Any of this events, even in center or out of center, she can come. Transportation is free. Oak Street is paying for that. If something happens at the hospital, we eat the cost of that because our goal is to keep you out of the hospital. So we'll tell your insurance, Aetna, United Healthcare, Humana, it costs XYZ to keep Ms. Jones happy. Okay, we'll take that. We'll take that responsibility. So there will be no cost. If anything, we just want to see you more frequently to make sure that you're following up that care plan and keeping on track with it.
And what's the qualifying age again?
65.
Or if you're on disability,
Yep.
qualify. Okay.
Yep. So if you've been on disability for at least 2 years by Social Security, then you will have your red, white, and blue card as far as Medicare. But as long as you have Medicare, so if you have Medicare and Medicaid, that's great, or Medicare and any other insurance, that's fine. But the base one is what you need to know if you have Medicare. So, yeah. I appreciate it so much. If you guys are interested, I'll be out here for a little bit and I can go ahead and
How do you set up to
set up an appointment.
the welcome day?
A welcome visit. What I'll do is, we don't have any cards. Oh, I could do the sign up sheet. I'll just pass it around real quick with your name and number. And I can follow up with the ones that have their names and numbers down. And you can put a note if you just want community events or welcome visits. I can go ahead and get you guys scheduled at the Pool Road as soon as possible too as well. And with transportation. So, I appreciate it. Thank you.
We just want to really thank our whole city health for coming out and speaking with us. If we do not need the information, we have been informed to pass it on to our relatives because somewhere down in the line, somebody's going to need some information. So with that, Ms. Austin, I got it right. I won't call you that. We really appreciate you and thank you for coming out. Turn it over to our pastor.
Finally,
Right, I don't qualify.
Not all other cities.
Sometimes I feel like I qualify. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. And again, you're gonna have a sign up sheet. And if there's someone that wants to sign up for a welcome visit. And again, like Mr. Food said, even if you're not old enough, you may know someone old enough. And I know every now and then they say take a senior to the doctor. So this may be a good time to take a senior to the welcome center, somebody, among somebody. And so there are a lot of great things that can be done. Amen. Amen. To God be the glory for the good things He has done. And so again, we thank our family and community care team for putting this together, as well as for the information on the board. It's here.
I thought you had a better.
That's what you're supposed to tell your husband to just grab you and